Hi, this is Mrs. Duncan, and I just wanted to touch base with you about what we were covering this week in week number 2. So we've moved quickly into our first study. It's a story I hope you like a lot. Most of my students do. Everyday Use by Alice Walker. It's a short story, which means you should be able to sit down in what's considered one sitting and be able to read it all. That could be 20 minutes. If you like to process and you're a little bit slower in reading, it could be 30 minutes. But it's not a novel. It won't take you, hours to read. So you've got to do that pretty quickly. Everything you need, though, is in our folder, but it starts really by reading the story. And our focus, we'll have a different analysis focus each time. If you look here, we don't have a textbook, so all the materials are here in the instructional materials. So there's a PDF of the story that you can read there, so start with that. Then our emphasis is on conflict analysis, and I explain that. I have the PowerPoint, I have a PDF, and then you should definitely listen to the video lecture because that's the instruction on it, and how we'll think about all of our stories actually is through conflict analysis. And sometimes it's not, you start with what's on the surface and the individuals, and then you look beneath. And so there's a specific assignment. Before I jump ahead to that, though, you have to watch those materials and read your story to be able to take your quiz. Okay, so there's a quiz on the conflict analysis as it pertains to the story, and then you're going to apply the conflict analysis terms to the story everyday use. Now, this is super important. Your first essay is going to be coming right from that assignment. Basically, you do that assignment, that's like all your pre-writing for essay 1. You can look ahead and see. That's why we move very quickly into essay 1, draft 1, which is next week, because you've already done the work. So there's the instructions in the assignment, and it's really basically about organizing the information. So you don't want to skip this assignment, and you definitely want to read my feedback on it that I'll have the beginning of next week. So this is due Sunday night, and I always prioritize anything that's written, like for a written assignment, at the beginning of the week so that you get my feedback on it. So if a quiz isn't self-grading or a discussion board, I will wait on those a little bit longer, but I will prioritize any assignment that's related to our story and our writing. Um, you almost always, I should say, have a discussion post, because that's one way we learn that we miss from the classroom, and several of you have already been a part of that. But you've got some questions here, and I shortened it really. It's just discuss the importance of heritage and the conflicting views on heritage. And this is important to this discussion because you will be writing about the importance of heritage in the story in your essay. So everything assigned is really pointing us in terms of content towards the essays. So when you dig in, you write your initial, thoughts on that, then you read others and respond to theirs. That should, increase your understanding of it. You should read more than 2, but to see and compare and see if you can find what somebody has thought of that you have not thought of. Those will become part of next week's draft assignment. So let's take a quick look at that. All right, so look at that. This is the description right here. And the first part is write conflict analysis. That's coming right out of this week's conflict analysis assignment. The second one is, what does heritage mean? It's a theme discussion. That's right out of this week's discussion board to get you started thinking about that. And then a personal connection. Which story situation do you connect with the most, and why? And so there's a video where I go into detail. I'm not going to do that today because I have one, but I just wanted to preview with you how important your homework is each week to what we're doing next, and particularly our essay writing, because our essay writing is where most of our points come from. Okay. All right. If you want to be clear about what needs to be done, check your to-do list. in there, and I always post at least one, usually two announcements. All right, that's it for today.